Hello to all who are joining us today to talk about emerging opportunities in business that are a little bit cooler, a little more imaginative, and a little more focused on living a life of freedom and joy than your average day job. I'm your host, Ali Moxa, and this is another edition of I Can't Believe I'm Getting Paid to Do This, a podcast. So today I have Jill Nelson with me. Hi, Jill.
Hi, Ali.
She's the owner of Hot Diggity, dog walking and pet sitting, and of WunderPetz, which is a franchising opportunity born from her work with Hot Diggity. So I want to hear all about this, Jill. I know you from our work together in the regional business community, where you're a leader, a mentor, an all-around good person. Tell me a bit more about the origin story of your business in light of the values that you bring to the table.
Sure, I'm happy to give you a Reader's Digest condensed version.
Yeah.
You know, Hot Diggity has actually been around in the Portland metro area for 25 years. Started 2001.
Yeah.
Actually started by a very good friend of mine who was in college and needed cash flow and money and just started walking dogs. And one thing led to another. He had a really strong background in marketing, and he just created this wonderful brand, Hot Diggity.
Yeah.
And he grew that business to over 20 years to be huge.
Yeah.
And at one point, I think around 2015 or so, or before that, we started doing some work together. I was a business consultant at the time. And I got involved with him in the business and just helping him grow, build teams. My background is in relationship and organizational systems.
Yeah.
In business coaching. So we just worked really well together. And I got to see the operations, the business from the inside. Opportunity came up. He needed some help in Seattle. And I ended up just deciding to go into the pet care business. It was fun. It was interesting.
Yeah.
And I was ready to step out of consulting for a while. So I took over and purchased the Seattle location from him. And then we opened in Vancouver a year later. And I just continued to build those two locations.
Yeah.
To nice, good, robust businesses. Around 2020, 2019, he decided he wanted to get out of the dog walking business and pursue other interests. So I bought the Portland location from him. And then lo and behold, COVID. So the business really was forced to do a lot of evolving. But one of the opportunities COVID gave us was to really tighten our systems, to get down to the very bare bones essentials of the business and to build a really strong infrastructure and organizational system. Stuff I love systems. So we were able to do that during those years. And so when we came out of COVID, we came out stronger. We did end up closing the Seattle location just for a lot of reasons. It was the least productive one, but continue to have thriving businesses in Portland and Vancouver, which led me to look at the systems and look at the operations and think to myself, I could franchise this.
I love it. You're drawing from passion and then you're looking at systems, and that's where opportunity is coming from. It's not one or the other, which is really interesting to me. I'm curious though about why WunderPetz.
Okay, so there's I'm going to give you the short story.
Yeah.
I wanted a name that really talked about how wonderful pets are. And Wunder is actually the German word for miracle or wonder.
Yeah.
And I stumbled upon it and thought, you know what, that's a great name. And once I did some research, it wasn't really being used anywhere in the dog walking industry.
Yeah.
So I was able to trademark it, which was something I couldn't do with Hot Diggity.
Yeah.
So that was the reason why we made the move from Hot Diggity for future locations and are now franchising underneath the WunderPetz name.
I love it. Do you pronounce it with a German accent often?
No, I say what a wonderful. Oh, it does. It's not WunderPetz. But it's funny. My web designer actually speaks fluent German and very often will throw out the German.
I love it.
But it's just WunderPetz because Americans, we make everything the way we want it because that's just how we roll.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back and forth between the two. Well, tell me what sets WunderPetz apart, though, from other dog walking businesses. I mean, I know there are a number of them now, especially since COVID. So what's special about what you do? Why are people clamoring at your door?
It really is about the systems, and it's about the consistency. It's about the quality and the caring. Our motto is everything we do for the love of pets.
Yeah.
And that is the passion that's behind WunderPetz. Also, the systems.
Yeah.
We have consistent training. So when a franchisee comes in, they have a solid brand, a marketing process, a hiring process, operational systems.
Yeah.
It's all put there for them. And we've already worked out all the kinks. We've been using these systems for 10 years.
Yeah.
And perfected them along the way and documented every step. So it's hard for an entrepreneur to be good at everything.
Yeah.
And this makes it possible for someone who isn't good at everything, but can learn to manage everything, to be able to succeed and have the steps just clearly laid out. The first time I started a dog walking business, it was, or took over, it was totally by the seat of my pants.
I bet.
And all I had was the guidelines and the structures that were already in place from Hot Diggity, but that alone gave me a roadmap of sorts, even though it wasn't as perfected as it is now.
Yeah.
I would have probably failed without those things.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many things you don't know.
Yeah, it's the difference between being amazing with animals and being a dog walker and being able to scale enough to make it a profitable business.
Yes.
I had never thought of that before. So you're really at 25 years of expertise now of, franchising. What are some of the challenges you and your franchisees face when kicking off a new dog walking and pet sitting business?
Well, as you notice, it is a fairly well-established industry, and there's a lot of players of all sizes already in the pet care and the dog walking space.
Yeah.
And they go all the way from, your solo entrepreneurs or a mom and pop, and they do it all, and it's small, and they never take vacations unless they shut down the whole business.
Yeah.
You have that type of an entity. And then you've got the Ubers of dog walking.
Yeah.
Rover and Wag and
Oh,
a few of others.
Yeah.
That it's, they offer a great service, and it's an on-demand service, but the quality is not necessarily consistent. You might get the same dog walker, you might not.
Yeah.
We try to be the best of all those worlds.
Okay.
To be able to offer the personal, consistent care. We do have multiple dog walkers.
Yeah.
You may not have the same dog walker every time, but you're going to have the same team of dog walkers consistently, because they all cover a certain geographic area.
Yeah.
And they're all there and available and familiar with your pets.
Yeah.
Our system gives them a really good understanding of what your pets need, how you want them to be cared for.
Yeah.
And we are highly intentional about following those directions and being the best possible dog walker for your pets.
I love that. It is scary to put your best friend in the care of people you don't know very well.
Yeah, I'm very picky.
Yeah.
In fact, I will tell you, I have a rule of thumb. I will not hire someone I wouldn't trust in my own home because for my pets.
Right.
And if I wouldn't feel comfortable letting that person in my house and take care of my pets, and we have a bearded dragon, we've had cats, and we have a very anxiety-ridden dog. So it takes someone special.
Yeah.
Just not anyone can walk in and give our pets the care they need. They need to be trained. They need to be experienced.
Yeah. Oh, so they need to be experienced. So you've got people and they're coming in and they're good with pets and they've got lots of potential and they're trustworthy. You've done the background checks. But what I want to know is your forte. I know this from you just being in the community is you coach people. You're a coach in so many ways. I know a little bit about your background, but I want you to tell folks, tell them where you get this coaching experience from, because it's such an essential part. You think of dog walking as a relationship between one person, the walker, and the dog, but it is a whole different thing.
It's an ecosystem.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a team. In the way we have our business set up, we have administrative staff that do the scheduling, that do the coordinating, that are almost the liaison between the clients sometimes and the dog walkers. They make sure that that the information that the clients have given is up to date and current. Make sure that the dog walkers, the pet sitters are aware of any nuances like medication changes, anything like that.
Yeah.
And they kind of just coordinate all of it, which is very much the role that a franchisee would play, is kind of a little bit of everything. You're talking to the clients, you're talking to your staff, you're making sure the staff knows what they need to know, you're making sure the clients know what they need to know. And then the clients and the staff communicate back and forth as well.
Yeah.
So it really is kind of this, for lack of a better word, a small community that works to care for a group of pets.
Well, who taught you how to do all of this coaching? Where did this come from?
Well, I did. When I decided I wanted to go into coaching, I started out as a life coach.
Okay.
And that came out of another interesting facet is that for 10 years I was an ordained minister.
What?
Yeah. And so I did a lot of interpersonal work and community building.
Yeah.
And as I decided to leave the ministry, I wanted to continue to help people build and change their lives.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I feel like it's my superpower.
Yeah.
As I've enjoyed doing it. So I went ahead and I went to an organization, ORSC, and I got certified as a relationship and organizational system.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
And then utilizing that information, I was able to understand all the dynamics, because everything revolves around relationships.
Doesn't it?
It's not just your personal relationships, it's your professional relationships.
Yeah.
It's your relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to have all of those relationships in alignment as much as possible.
Yeah.
To lead a full and comfortable and capable life.
Yeah.
And you really do need to understand the interdependency of all your dynamic relationships.
Yeah.
And how you interact with people. I mean, I can be very laid back.
Yeah.
I'll help people with what they want, when they want.
Yeah.
But I also will, make the hard calls and say, this is an area that as I stand from the outside and observe it, there's some areas here where you could grow and stretch, and here's things you might want to look into.
I love that, because no matter how experienced we may be as business owners, say somebody knew everything they needed to know about building a dog walking business, which they don't, because none of us do, except for you.
But I would say there are still things I can learn.
Yeah.
But lifelong learning is also a value of mine.
Yes.
And I think that, if I were to look for the ideal franchisee, they don't have to be good at everything, but they have to be passionate about being better.
Yeah.
Learning more, or finding the people that help them be successful.
Yeah.
Because that's another important key dynamic of building a business, is you don't have to do everything.
Yeah.
But you have to find the right people to help you do everything.
I love that. And do you have templates for helping?
Yes.
Oh,
yep.
So for helping your franchisees find the right employees, you're drawing from and have documented that wisdom as an approach and a process for finding.
Right.
So you thought of everything.
I try.
Well, tell me a little bit more about what running a pet care business entails. You've got to keep the pets happy. But you've also got human beings as clients, right? We haven't talked about that much. We've talked about the walkers and the pets, but it's got to be complicated to have that triangulation happening.
Anyone in any kind of a business understands that your clients, you have a certain kind of relationship with them. Some of them want you to know everything about them. Some of them overshare. Some of them undershare. Part of the nuances is just making sure you have the information you need, and then letting clients be clients.
Yeah. Yeah.
and helping to meet them, to listen to what their interests are, their requirements are, and being really honest and upfront. Yeah, we can do that. Yes, we'll do our best to do that. That, we can't guarantee we can do that, but we'll try. And then let's evaluate it. To have those variations in your relationship dynamics with your clients are really important, because every client is a little unique and a little different.
For sure. And we need to make allowance for that. We can't have an entire business that's based on everyone behaving the way we expect them to.
And it may not be the proper thing to say, but I do not believe that the client is always right.
Yeah.
I believe that the client is very important. They are totally entitled to have their desires, interests, expectations, And then we have to have honest discussions about, can we meet those?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so, there's kind of a little bit of a give and take there. But when we make mistakes, we do our best to fix mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's also a commitment we have to our clients.
Yeah. And you're coaching the clients as well as you're.
Well, don't ever tell them that.
We won't let them. We won't let
No.
them. Well, and you know what? On one hand, dog walking seems so totally straightforward. But now when you tell me about all of this composition and sort of, orchestration you do, it actually sounds highly technical. So how do you balance that?
There are definitely some technical parts to it. And one of them is I am constantly growing a library of resources for my pet care professionals.
Yeah.
I just finished a little mini video a few days ago of when to call a vet.
Oh.
And it's like a 2.5-minute video that just goes over, these are the times when
I need to know that.
Yeah, when to call a vet.
Yeah.
Or when, just this is interesting, check with the owner and say, hey, did you know your pet's doing this?
Yeah.
And do they do that when you're around? And sometimes it's something really basic, like the client goes, oh, yeah, they do that all the time. Or the client goes, oh, no, they don't do that.
Yeah.
And then, you have to have a conversation about that. But having trained staff is so important.
Yeah.
So we have a library of resources for them.
Yeah. And then what about scheduling?
We use a whole internal scheduling software system that our clients have access to, our pet sitters have access to, and our support staff have access to, so that we can all keep the information as up to date and current. So say you book once a year for a pet sit, and when your request comes in, our admin staff will look over the profile. They'll send auto emails out. We have these all triggered that say, hey, your pet sit's coming in. Please review your profile. Please let us know if there have been any medication changes. Is there any, changes in your pet's health? And, so we prompt the clients to communicate that information.
So it's all automated and you've drawn it from knowing what patterns you need to establish.
We have systems for everything.
Ah, wow. So, well, then tell me more about the franchising piece. You said before that your goal is to quote unquote create opportunity. I want to dig into that. What does that look like and for whom?
Like I said, there are a lot of pet sitters out there, or there are people that are just sitting at a desk going, I am so sick of this. I want to do something fun.
Yeah.
And I love pets. Maybe I should start a pet care business.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know that right now there's somebody sitting at a desk somewhere going, I am done with this. I want to.
You've convinced me. Yeah.
Yeah. And for those people, I'm like, hey, cool. Here's a very affordable package that also comes with everything you need to start, to market, all the steps that are required to set up your business, to build your business, to scale your business.
Yeah.
As much as you want to scale it.
Yeah.
Now, if you just want to go out and walk dogs 3 days a week, just sign up for Rover.
Yeah.
Or find a pet care company that you want to work with that, has the kind of quality that WunderPetz has, but don't aspire to own a business.
Yeah.
Because owning a business is so much more than just walking the dogs. In the first few years, yes, I walked a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
I cleaned a lot of litter boxes that were not mine.
Yeah.
I don't do very much of that anymore.
Really?
No, I really don't. Unless, something happens and we had a snowstorm.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of people that couldn't get, staff who couldn't get out, and I have all-wheel drive. So for fun,
of course. Yeah.
For fun, I went out and I was like, yeah, don't worry, I can cover those pet sits, because it is important to us, for our clients that depend on us for care. We have to get there. And I always have at least 2 or 3 staff who are just as crazy about loving to drive in the snow as me.
Yeah.
I think the last snow episode in Portland, we had one person who covered half of the city.
Yeah.
Just because they love driving in the snow.
Yeah.
And, so that always works out really well. But I love doing it.
Yeah.
But it's not, right now, the joy I have is I get to look at a lot of pictures of really cute pets.
Oh, I
Like
can't wait. So
hundreds of them every day.
Well, okay, so who is the right person for the Wonder Pets opportunity right now?
So I jokingly say I have a profile. I call it
Ah,
Dana Dog Lover.
okay.
And Dana Dog Lover is, maybe empty nester, maybe, part-time working, maybe a vet tech, has been in the industry in some way, or has owned, they're all their own private, humane society.
Yeah.
One of those perpetual pet rescuers.
Yeah, totally.
There are people that are like that their lives revolve around animals.
Yeah.
And they're just tired of the grind.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. Trust me, if you want to go into this business to make money, this is not the business to go into.
Yeah.
This is the business to go into because you love what you're doing. As you said at the very beginning, I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this.
Exactly.
I have had members of my staff go, "This is so much fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this."
That's it.
Yeah. And, and it's true. On a best day when you're out on a hike with a dog for an hour,
Yeah.
and you can go out on a trail, it's hard to believe you're getting paid to do that.
Yeah.
So it's for that person who wants to do something of their own. They don't necessarily want someone breathing over their neck and telling them, well, you need to do this and you need to do this. They want to be the ones to say, I'm going to manage my time. I'm going to manage my life. I'm going to do what I love. And I'm going to build a business I love.
Yeah.
And it's going to revolve around pets.
That's awesome. I mean, it's going to pull at all of our heartstrings, but I'm sure there are people listening right now who are going like, this is me in this moment right now.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. So great timing on that. And thank you so much for your thoughts today. I mean, when it comes to quote unquote, I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this, you kind of nailed it.